This is part 2 of Canada's DOJ aids tax agency to defraud 240 plus Canadians, and I've been asked to narrate this series. This is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. This is a good Samaritan video for the public's best interest and those are preserving justice. Anyone that has an issue with this, please take it up with God. Help us get to 10,000 views and likes. Below the video here, there's a like button. Please select that and share this video with everyone you know. Thanks to Glenn at Sovereign Living on YouTube for helping us get the word out. He dedicates his life to helping others find truth in law, and you can send donations or contact him at engineerwin@hotmail.com. Here's the breakdown of this Canada-wide tax scandal that they're trying to sweep under the rug. The parties involved include the Canada Revenue Agency, Department of Justice, lawyers, notaries, banks, insurance companies, courts, bailiffs, and bankruptcy trustees. The conspiracy is to create a fictitious audit, assessments, and reassessments to prevent refunds to Canadians by CRA officers. First, profile all DeMara consulting and fiscal arbitrators as tax protesters and detaxers. Most all of these people have already paid their taxes. That way, rogue CRA officers can justify there's a threat to Canada and the government. Notice they've changed their titles to officers, a military term. Once have they been deputized or become notaries? If anyone does a FOIA about that, please post below. The Canada Revenue Agency, DOJ, which Department of Justice, and courts can then justify using any means under noble cause corruption and other tactics. Remember, these people are trustees. Other tactics include making false claims you are a terrorist, freeman on the land, and threat to Canada. Noble cause corruption is the idea that it's okay to hurt people for the good of all. There's an excellent article below on the link here that you can do some more research on that. To target innocent Canadians as they have been profiled as a threat. Profiling is a violation of international law and human rights. Controversy makes them money. You pay to defend a negative and false claim. Breaching your peace, and you never get that time back from family, friends, loved ones, vacations, none of that. And they tie up your time and resources on purpose to keep you busy. Anyone who's competent in admiralty law and defaults government agents into a legal position is then attacked by an army of government agents. Being thrown in jail for no reason, no court orders or hearings, families attacked, houses confiscated, threats uttered against family members, and residual collateral attacking occurs. The CRA says they do not throw people in jail. Well, that's true, but why? They move cases into a quasi-criminal jurisdiction and assign your capture to others on behalf of the CRA. But when we try to do a criminal complaint against them, they always try to bring it back into the civil because they don't want it, right? Where are these quasi-criminal laws? I'd like to study them so I can defend myself against them. Get the picture yet? Still think there's justice in Canada? Admiralty law is a bona fide remedial approach in Canada and is the primary law instrument used by CRA and other government agents to attack the public. Registries then refuse to accept liens or file appropriate instruments by self-litigants who are following the laws of Canada. Have you noticed all the filing fees and notary charges have doubled in Canada? Bank agents are issued RTPs who have been told they are court orders contrary to what the case law says. RTPs are requirements to pay sent to banks. RTPs are not court orders and does not constitute an obligation to pay per RBC case law. You can look that up. A CIBC agent stated to one victim they receive hundreds of RTPs daily, but they never check their validity. I believe there's case law that says that CRA has to have a duty of care when doing these things. If they question the CRA, they get into trouble. Innocent people have been raped financially, mentally, and physically by these CRA terrorists. When is the abuse going to end? What is most sickening is disgruntled CRA agents have stated the funds and property being confiscated, I guess from these victims, doesn't even get to the tax fund. The monies being stolen from victims from pensions, disabilities, businesses, etc. is going to a CRA prizes and awards fund to finance parties and such. Well, isn't that a piracy term? We extend condolences to all the families who've had members commit suicide over this. There's lots of other ways. I hope people realize that. You have a wrongful death suit against CRA agents you can file. File a complaint here at the whitehouse.gov presidential actions executive order blocking property, persons involved, serious human rights abuse, corruption. Under the British Columbia Vital Statistics Act, the state is defined as United States of America and District of Columbia. So that ties in British Columbia into the United States. And of course, Canada is a U.S. Registered corporation. You can find that on the internet in many, many videos. Filing a complaint. You can file a complaint anonymously, but it wouldn't help your case. If you state you are concerned about reprisal, ask for protection. The CRA was recently penalized for malicious prosecution. CBC.ca, News Canada, British Columbia, CRA tax prosecution, malicious injustice. And this couple was awarded $1.7 million in damages. I believe the duty of care case is LaRue versus CRA, I think. That was in Vancouver. So Okanagan. So what do you think so far? Sound like the tax scandal of the century? Send a message to Justin Trudeau and his cabinet. End tax terrorism, stop CRA corruption, end CRA abuse, and hold these agents liable. Contact your PMMLA, issue a service complaint to CRA, and file privacy complaints for breaches. I believe that it's federal and provincial fines for non-compliance within 30 days is $30,000 a day if they don't provide you what you've asked for on an informal request. That adds up pretty quickly here. What do we require the government to do to start with? All victims are restored to their original position prior to the fraud. All property and monies returned with damages non-protunct, all liens removed, credit scores restored, and permanent estoppel in writing against CRA for all victims. Especially since this was done during the Pope's extraordinary Jubilee of Forgiveness, and there's more on that later. Are you a victim? Do you want your story heard anonymously or not? Send a PowerPoint format to a completed PowerPoint format to justicereport@protonmail.com with the subject line DeMara, Fiscal or Tax Victim, and we'll post your story here. Like this video, share this video, and tell others. Continued in part 3. Please send donations to engineerwin@hotmail.com. He receives Bitcoin and regular money by mail, PayPal, or to his Bitcoin address below there. Thank you for taking action. This video constitutes public notice.